Hello and welcome to Football Tactics and Glory, episode 3 of my Weymouth career mode. Right, today we're listening to some Kevin Wilson, so enjoy the video and enjoy the music.
Latest buzzword buzzing round seems to be Me Too, and they're lining up with stories to tell about sexual harassment. Well, it's happened to me too. Fucking heaps of times, but mostly by myself. Wouldn't be a day goes by when I didn't grab me pecker around the neck and crank the living daylights out of him. Unwanted sexual advances, maybe yes, maybe not, because I wanted it alright, but I'm not dobbing myself in. Instead I'm gonna start a movement called DIY Me Too. After years and years of self-inflicted sexual abuse, not only am I a victim, I'm the perpetrator too. So I'm gonna start a movement called DIY Me Too. To the point now where I just can't trust myself. But at the same time, I can't wait to be alone. Oh, I know what's gonna happen. I'm frightened yet excited. Can't take a shit or shower without romancing the bone. Is it bragging or complaining? Is it my personal best or worst? My room's jack-off central, but a crime scene as well. So should I send myself some flowers or a subscription to a new porn site? Or sue myself for a drum of KY gel? I'm confused, so I'm gonna start a movement called DIY Me Too. After years and years of self-inflicted sexual abuse, not only am I a victim, I'm the perpetrator too. So I'm gonna start a movement called DIY Me Too. I'm gonna start a movement called DIY Me Too. After years and years of self-inflicted sexual abuse, not only am I a victim, I'm the perpetrator too. So I'm gonna start a movement called DIY Me Too. I'm gonna start a movement called DIY Me Too. Political correctness. What a crop of shit. If it's political, it ain't correct. Those two words don't fucking fit. So I wrote a little PC pushback song that I'd love for you to sing, while we flip them PC pricks the finger singing F-U-P-C. Fuck you, political correctness, F-U-P-C. You're crippling free thinking and you're strangling free speech. The world's flipping you the finger, don't give a rat's ass what you think. Fuck you, political correctness, F-U-P-C. Flip and sing. Fuck you, political correctness, F-U-P-C. I learned that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt. Armed with that and a dilly-gap attitude, my world just seemed to work. But them precious PC snowflakes take offence to everything we say. Millennial dyslexics, they read everything round the wrong fucking way. So I say, fuck you, political correctness, F-U-P-C. You're crippling free thinking and you're strangling free speech. The world's flipping you the finger, don't give a rat's ass what you think. Fuck you, political correctness, F-U-P-C. Flip and sing. Fuck you, political correctness, F-U-P-C. Where's all this PC bullshit coming from? What happened to common sense? Trying to convince us now you can pick up a dog shit by the cleanest end. Don't want us to have an opinion. Can't say now what you see. You know what I see? A bunch of fragile soft-cock fucktards. F-U-P-C. Fuck you, political correctness. F-U-P-C. You're crippling free thinking and you're strangling free speech. The world's flipping you the finger. Don't give a rat's ass what you think. So fuck you, political correctness. F-U-P-C. Flip 'em one for their dog. Fuck you, political correctness. F-U-P-C. One for the horse they rode in on. Fuck you, political correctness. F-U-P-C. I'm the sort of bloke that'd like to think that if I could go back in time, Banjo and Henry and even Ned Kelly would all be good mates of mine. 'Cause they're piss-pots, poets and outlaws, and I can relate to that. And I can relate to their attitude too. In a word, dillygaff. That's spelled D-I-L-L-I-G-A-F, dillygaff. And this is what it means. Do I look like I give a fuck, dillygaff? Am I being direct enough, dillygaff? It's just another way of saying I couldn't give a fucking rat's ass, mate. And do I look like I give a fuck, dillygaff? Your turn. Do I look like I give a fuck, dillygaff? You see, it's stress relief made easy. It's simple and it works. Just say dillygaff next time you got to deal with dickheads, wankers and jerks. And when you go out, stick a dillygaff on your t-shirt or your hat. And when some cunt's giving you the shits, just say, mate, read that. That spells D-I-L-L-I-G-A-F, dillygaff. Do I look like I give a fuck, dillygaff? Am I being direct enough, dillygaff? Just another way of saying I couldn't give a fucking rat's ass, mate. And do I look like I give a fuck, dillygaff? Your turn. Do I look like I give a fuck, dillygaff? Do it again. Do I look like I give a fuck, dillygaff? Am I politically correct enough, dillygaff? Just another way of saying I couldn't give a rodent's rectum, mate. And do I look like I give a fuck, dillygaff? Your turn. Do I look like I give a fuck, dillygaff? Big finish. Do I look like I give a fuck, dillygaff? Common sense ain't that common anymore. Seems common sense is past tense, just like the dinosaur. Political correctness has got a lot to answer for, 'cause common sense ain't that common anymore. Political correctness, what a crock of shit. If it's political, it ain't correct. Those two words don't fucking fit. Nor do military intelligence, friendly fire and holy war. But common sense ain't that common anymore. Words made up by academic fuckwits who hide in little fart-filled rooms, throwing random words together because they got fuck all else to do. Starts out as yuppie jargon, ends up fucking law, 'cause common sense ain't that common anymore. Common sense ain't that common anymore. Seems common sense is past tense, just like the dinosaur. Political correctness has got a lot to answer for, 'cause common sense ain't that common anymore. Words like illegal immigrant, is that a fucked up double or what? If you're an immigrant, g'day and welcome. If you're illegal, fuck off. And who's them low-life toe rags letting them sneak through our back door? 'Cause common sense ain't that common anymore. Racist, there's one overused word that's laced with toxic venom, spat out by every do-gooder and minority group when you don't agree with them. Mate, this is Australia. One size fits all, but common sense ain't that common anymore. Common sense ain't that common anymore. Seems common sense is past tense, just like the dinosaur. Political correctness has got a lot to answer for, 'cause common sense ain't that common anymore. Petty crime, there's no such thing. Some poor bastard's got to pay. Here's two words that just might work. Rattan cane. We don't need a fucking police service. Bring back the police force, 'cause common sense ain't that common anymore. So all you soft-cock politicians, try getting your head around this. You're fucking up a great country, and we're tired of that PC shit. Try using a little more common sense. That's what we're paying you for. But common sense ain't that common anymore. Common sense ain't that common anymore. Seems common sense is past tense, just like the dinosaur. Political correctness has got a lot to answer for, 'cause common sense ain't that common anymore. Common sense ain't that common anymore. No, common sense ain't that common anymore. I first met him in the classroom back in 1963. We seemed to hit off pretty good. We were mates, Mick and me. He wasn't such a big kid even back then at the start. And he wasn't all that clever either, but Jesus, he could fart. I first found that out in class one day when things were going pretty slow. And just to keep us all amused, Mick let this fucking ripper go. Oh, you should have been there. Look, I'd describe it if I could. But I just turned around and I said, "Hey, Mick, you're fucking good." And at the inter-school grand final on the rugby field that time, we were getting beaten. They were 12 and we were 9 and played with 3 yards from our goal line when the referee called a scrum. And Mick said, "Don't worry, fellas, we've as good as got it won." So we just locked ourselves down in the scrum and we held each other's nose. And Mick, our little hooker, he let this fucking ripper go. It stung their nose and it burnt their eyes and it even scorched the grass. And I twigged right then and there, he had a double-jointed ass. Mick, me mate the master farter, put the art back into farting with his custom-tailored farts. Mick, me mate the master farter, broke new ground in breaking wind with his double-jointed ass. And it was just a couple of years later, we both went to see Kamal. It was a really poshy sort of show in this great big bloody hall. And all the blokes were dressed like penguins. And you should have seen the sorts. And Kamal himself wore a Sheila's dress like a bloody black boy George. And we were all locked in there like sardines for the show to get underway. But the tuba player didn't lob. He'd booked off crook that day, and Kamal said, "Without a tuba player, I cannot commence the show." So old Mick jumps up, said, "Sambo, mate, I'll have a fucking go." Well, from then on in, I honestly thought that the whole show would be ruined. But he just winked at me and picked that tuba up just like he knew what he was doing. Then the maestro tapped his little stick to tell the band to start. Mick just shut his eyes and cocked his leg and then began to fart. Well, you could have heard a pin drop that night there in the hall. And it's hard to say who sounded best, Mick farting or Kamal. Then the audience just went apeshit. They cheered and clapped and stood. And Kamal smiled as if to say, "Hey, Mick, you're fucking good." Mick, me mate the master farter, put the right back into farting with his custom-tailored farts. Me mate the master farter, with his true pitch-perfect calibrated double-jointed ass. Well, good news travels fast, it seems, and it wasn't very long before Mick got this midnight phone call from Ben Lexon and Alan Bond. They said, Mick, we got this specialist job and we're prepared to pay ya. Mick, old son, would you consider farting for Australia? We'll just prop you on our brand new yacht when there's no sea breeze blowing and get Mick the master farter the starter and keep the bastard going. So Mick went into training on sausage rolls and pies and Vegemite and Foster's beer and a scholarship from Heinz. The world had never seen before a yacht so finely groomed, or a crew so fit and young and strong, or an arse so finely tuned. The Yanks weren't even in the race, not even in the same class, what with Ben Lexon and his secret keel and Mick's fuel-injected arse. Well, he come back a bloody hero, didn't he? The all-Australian boy. And the government commissioned this bloke to do a big statue of his koi. And I can still see Mick standing there when they conferred his knighthood. And Bob Hawke pinning it on, saying, "Hey, Mick, you're fucking good." Mick, me mate the master farter, went last back into farting with his designer label farts. Mick, me mate the master farter, with his true pitch-perfect calibrated turbo-thrusted fuel-injected winds-protected double-jointed arse. I come from an outback town where fucking nothing grows. No wheat, no sheep, so we can't even boast an annual show. But we got something special there that sets our town apart. 'Cause each year in the shed we hold the Festival of Farts. There's displays and competitions and entries from afar. And those that can't get into town just send in little jars. And off outside's the local cop with clipboard and a pen. Unscrews the lids, then takes a whip, then scores them 1 to 10. He'll give you 2 points for aroma, 2 for the bouquet, 2 for fermentation, and 2 more for decay, and 2 for presentation of the fancy little jars, and a medal for the best fart at the Festival of Farts. And you should see the mob this year that crammed into the shed to hear the big guns blazing in the farting talent quest, with old Sarge on a megaphone as he reads the riot act.
Settle down, you bastards. Can you hear me at the back? Now give 'em all a go, all right, and butt them cigarettes. And any of you cunts play up tonight, I'll bust your fucking heads.
Then he unfolds his director's chair and squats on his fat ass to adjudicate the entries in the Festival of Farts. He'll give you 2 points for aroma, 2 for the bouquet, 2 for fermentation, and 2 more for decay, and 2 for presentation, style and grace and class, and a medal for the best fart at the Festival of Farts. Then the crowd roars its approval as the first bloke lets one go. Fucking thunder from down under to open up the show. Then a double burbling gurgler with chili afterburn. Then a downdraft nagger clanger. Shit, that must have fucking hurt. And a silent Lutzinger that took us by surprise, and a noxious nostril burner that brung tears to our eyes. And old Sarge, the cranky bastard, sat there adding up the marks, as popular as embroids at the Festival of Farts. 'Cause you'll get 2 points for aroma, 2 for the bouquet, 2 for fermentation, and 2 more for decay, and 2 for presentation, style and grace and class, and a medal for the best fart at the Festival of Farts. highlight of the show this year was two kids with a goat that they'd fed on rocks and rotten eggs and dragged in on a rope. And as one young fella grabbed his horns to line old Billy up, his mate just wandered round the goat's arse end, fair kicked him in the guts. And that old goat fired a fucking beauty, like a shotgun going off, and fired a lethal load of gravel shrapnel, scared shit out of the mob. And as they all died for cover and hit the deck in fear, old Sarge just kept on marking, buckshot whizzing past his ears. He'd give 'em 2 points for aroma, 2 for the bait, 2 for fermentation, and 2 more for decay. And all in all, that bloated goat had probably scored a 10, except he farted, shit and shot old fucking Sarge arse overhead. Then with all of the confusion and no cunt keep.
Right, I'm ending this video here. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit that bell for notifications. And there'll be more football tactics and glory tomorrow. And until then, I will see you all again. Goodbye.